President, the movement Pro Pictures, Ibidolapo Ajayi, joins me via Skype from Dallas, Texas, to talk more on this. Good to have you join us, Ibidolapo Ajayi. This is not the first time we're seeing attack on minorities in America, but help us understand exactly what is playing out here.
Good morning from here. What we see right now is a situation where people are seeing an increase in attacks against Asian Americans since the pandemic started last year. And with respect to this specific incident, it's been investigated and they're thinking possibly this is hate crime playing out. But if we go back to the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of the rhetoric that was coming out from public officials, especially former President Trump, placed the origin of the virus largely and the blame on the steps of China. And he coined it the China virus. And this typically fed into what we're seeing play out at the moment. Because if you think back to when we had this sad incident of the 9/11 attacks, and this happened to have taken place here in the United States and was perpetrated by folks from Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, we saw a similar situation where folks of that descent were being targeted across the United States.
The problem.
And we're seeing a similar reaction
just to
now.
quickly jump in, that's the problem. We understand how frustrated people can be, especially in terms of the coronavirus pandemic. It looks like everyone's life is put on hold. But it does look like we're seeing a culture where people look for a sect of people to blame when something goes wrong.
That's absolutely correct. And it comes from maybe people not, seeing others as being equal. If you look back to the history of Asian Americans, how they migrated to the United States, having come into this country to help with building infrastructure, the rails and all that, they never saw folk from Asia as equal. And when you have that perspective of life and you've now opened your mind to accept other races as equal to you, then we see incidents like this playing out. But then it's likely also fed by what's being put out there by the people that are supposed to know better, that are supposed to lead us and not create situations where we're targeting each other.
So the big challenge here is that in America, there is no centralized way to report or expedite response to hate crimes. There is even no centralized definition of hate crimes. This is left to states. So what can be done here, especially under President Joe Biden?
Well, I think the first step is what we're seeing today. The president and the vice president will be visiting the Atlanta area to talk to locals and those that have been affected by this particular crime. And even though the White House has not particularly branded this hate crime, they have not ruled it out either. I think the president can set a new tone by asking the relevant authorities to maybe create a particular part of the agency to focus on the rise of this. And I think for the president, one of the things he wants to address is race issues in the United States. And I feel like under a president like this that's more open-minded, we will probably see a change and it's going to really tackle this. And I think the Congress is also picking up on this and they're going to do something to address this going forward. But you're right, there needs to be a real focus on treating and addressing reports of hate crime, starting like right now.
And how quick do you think we're going to see that change, or America is going to see that change, especially when you look at it in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been on for as long as we can remember?
Things like this take time. The important thing is to start, because the dialogue has to start. And even in the Congress, there's been debates about this. But you have to bear in mind that America is a deeply divided country. So there are people that hold a certain view when it comes to migrants coming into the United States. So there has to be a way to have people open up their minds. It's going to take time. It's going to take education. It's going to take the new generation being a little bit more open to knowing that this country is a melting pot of different cultures. That's who we are as United States. So it's a matter of time, but somebody just has to take the lead and take the bull by the horn and get this process started.
President, the movement Pro Pictures, Ibidolapo Ajayi, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.